Hi everyone, Farah Ismail here. It's nice to meet you again on Facebook. If you are watching me live, come on in and say hi. And if you're on replay, do share. You're watching on replay, hashtag replay. And if you have any comments and want to share anything else about what's coming up for you from the lives, please feel free to share. It will be awesome. All right, so today I want to talk about one thing that will make 2023 the most extraordinary year ever. And I want to invite you to imagine, what if you had that one thing? What it might feel like and what it would cost you if you didn't have it. And before I forget, if you want to speak to me about anything that's coming up that I'm sharing today, feel free to send me a message. Hi Duncan, welcome. So Duncan and anyone else who's watching, I'm on a 30-day life challenge when I'm coming in to share every day some ways in which I live courageously, and I'm also trying to show up a lot more and be visible and invite everybody else to have a lot more courage as well. So today I want to talk about that one thing that will help us to create the most extraordinary year ever. The number one reason that supports our success and that we are able to create this and create the life of our dreams is having crystal clear clarity. And I believe this is true because I've also heard a beautiful quote, which is, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. And I believe this is true because being unclear is like looking into the future through a fog. And anytime I speak to my clients, some of the ways they are talking about having this lack of clarity is looking at how do I get clarity about the next step in my career? How do I make that next big decision? Or what do I want my future to look like? There's so many questions, and I can say that a lack of clarity is very frustrating. It doesn't allow you to see the path ahead, and it sometimes invites overthinking, and I would say it will leave you into the space of analysis paralysis, where it's difficult to make decisions even when you want to. And I can just say that when you don't have clarity, it's exhausting. Anybody feels like that? Do share what's your experience when you have ever faced that time when you feel unclear. But the good news I believe is that most of us know what we want. We just don't have crystal clear clarity. We know what we want. What's happening is we're not giving ourselves permission. We're not giving ourselves permission because we have this fear that we don't want to make a change in our lives. I think that's the fear that stops us from really sitting down and thinking about what are the ways in which I want to create this incredible future. So what we also crave is the courage, choice, and a plan. All this to move forward, giving ourselves permission, with full permission to do that. So I believe that when you have clarity, especially when you have clarity about the facts in your life, that's when you can use that as a rock solid foundation in which you can create the life of your dreams. So today I thought I'll share 3 ways in which I create this. I have the courage, I make it a choice, and I choose how the plan to make this happen for me. So let me share the first one. The first one is giving myself the courage. One thing that I've learned to do, stop living in a fantasy world. A lot of times I used to actually live in this hazy future thinking, all these beautiful thoughts and not actually base it on facts. And I believe that not just me, but many of us spend a lot of time in this hazy future paradise, and which is not based on facts. And I think the facts are the ones that actually give us an absolute clarity of what needs to be done. So we stay stuck in a situation usually because something which is not serving us, or we're just waiting for the right time. And for that perfect time to make that next move or to take action. And I think it really requires us to start looking at the facts of our life. And when we are living in this hazy paradise, we are looking at, someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to live a life that will help me to have the kind of health that I dream of, or the career, or the business. So I believe that when you get very clear about the facts in your life, about your body, your relationship, when that happens, we stop fantasizing about what we want to create, but start looking at what are these clues that we're getting from the facts. So I would say the first thing is to get clear and to have the courage to see what's really going on. The second thing is the choice that we can make, which is really about choosing to focus on what you truly want and not what you don't want. So that's where the magic lies in having clarity, which is choosing to listen to all the knocks that we're getting, because life gives us opportunities to listen. And sometimes we do not listen to these knocks. So sometimes the knock will be like this, and we're choosing not to listen to it. Okay, so we're looking at all the things that we don't want, we don't have clarity. The knock gets louder, and then it really is like banging on the door and pounding on the door. And that's when you start opening your eyes and start looking at, here's what I want. I've been really focusing on what I don't want. So I believe that one of the most amazing ways that we can actually have the choice is to start listening, to listen to the knock, the loud pounding. And when we do that, we start getting really clear of what we want and not focus on what we don't want. Thank you, Ranjita, for joining me. And the third thing I want to say is that one of the things that really has worked is having a plan. So when you have a crystal clear clarity of what your life can look like, that's when you can choose to walk in it with confidence. So one of the ways I've created that is a beautiful process called the path, which is called Planning Alternate Tomorrows with Hope. And it's the most incredible way that you can walk into your future with ease and confidence, because you've gone through a process of thinking about all the ways in which you want to make your life extraordinary. Those are the 3 ways that I live my life with clarity, and I believe that there could be many more. So let me get back to the first one, which is really looking at having the courage to look at the facts in your life, what's really happening, and then make the choices. The choice to choose to focus on what you truly want and not what you don't want, and choose to listen to all the sounds and the knocks that life is telling you to pay attention. And the third thing is to work with someone to create this crystal clear clarity. These are the 3 ways that I made it for myself. So I want to pause here and ask you, what's really one way in which you are creating clarity in your life? What's really working for you? And how would you actually bring more of this in your life to create that extraordinary life in 2023? And if you wanted a real jump start on the next few years of your life to creatively and systematically create meaning and clarity, send me a message. I'll be able to share some resources about what really works, or what has worked with me in the past. And of course, looking to hear what's really staying with you from this and what questions that you have. I'm just so grateful to be here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'm excited to be on this journey with you and creating the number 1 key in living an extraordinary life, which is clarity. Thanks everyone. Have a beautiful evening and beautiful day. See you tomorrow.